Have you been to the least noticed part of your nearest airport? Hey there everyone, it's Jeff, and no, I haven't. There's a part of the airport I have not been to, and that's coming up today. But first, just a quick welcome to episode number 778 of Plain English on this Monday, May 26th, 2025. Great to have you with us. As you know, Plain English is the best podcast for you if you're learning English and if you like learning with stories about current events and trending topics. The audio is nice and slow, so you can understand every word. Plus, we also publish some great interactive exercises and learning resources with each episode. Since this is number 778, you can find the full episode resources at plainenglish.com/778. That is thanks to JR, the producer. Every episode has one story. So what is today's story? It's about the airport chapel. What are these places? Why do they exist? And what are they like inside? You'll learn all about that on today's episode. And when you're done, you can go to plainenglish.com/778 to take a quiz and do some activities related to the topic. Before we start today's story, I'd just like to remind you that the podcast is just one part of how we can help you upgrade your English skills. At plainenglish.com, you can make faster progress with active learning strategies. You can take quizzes, do activities, listen to the fast version of the audio, watch video workshops, practice what you learn, and even join a live call with JR and me. It's all about helping you build your skills to become a better, more confident English speaker. Sound good? Go to plainenglish.com to start your free 14-day trial today. Now, let's jump into today's story. I've spent a lot of time in airports. I used to travel a lot for work. I've spent time in the lounges and food courts, the waiting areas, ticketing counters, and the lost baggage offices. I rented a nap room in one airport, and I've killed plenty of time in airport bars. I've even been taken to the windowless area where immigration officers question you. That was in Toronto after I had just gotten my work visa. But there's one part of the airport I've never been to, the airport chapel. Every once in a while, when wandering the corridors of the airport, I hear an announcement about upcoming services in the chapel. And now and then, I see discreet signs pointing to the chapel. But like most travelers, I've never been inside. And, truth be told, I've always wondered why airport chapels exist, and also what they're like inside. Most airport chapels are interfaith spaces. That means they're not dedicated to just a single religion or a single faith. Instead, they can serve people of any religious faith. They have neutral decor with simple furnishings. Some are large enough to accommodate a small crowd. Others can fit just a few people. The larger chapels have pews or rows of chairs and a simple altar. Many have copies of religious texts like the Bible, Quran, or Torah, often in multiple languages. Some have private or semi-private rooms nearby where travelers can pray individually, meditate, or seek counseling from the on-site chaplain. The best chapels are soundproof and offer soft lighting to provide a calm environment, a refuge from the chaos outside. The first airport chapel opened at Boston's Logan International Airport in 1951. At the time, air travel was just starting to become accessible to the mass market, and airports began to employ a lot of people. The chapel was specifically created for the employees. Boston was, and is, a heavily Catholic area. Airport employees work long shifts, and they often have to work at times that others go to church. So the chapel at Boston's airport offered Catholic Mass to employees who couldn't make it to church. The chapel was given a clever name, Our Lady of the Airways, and pretty soon, other airports started opening chapels too. New York's Kennedy Airport opened dedicated Catholic, Jewish, and Protestant chapels. Today, many airports have some type of prayer room. Over 140 airports have chapels, including 40 in the United States. The Dallas Airport has one in every terminal. Both Washington, D.C. area airports have dedicated Catholic, Protestant, Islamic, and interfaith chapels. In Europe, large international hubs like Heathrow, Charles de Gaulle, and Frankfurt have them. There are chapels in smaller European airports too, from relatively secular Sweden to pious Italy. Dedicated prayer rooms are the norm in the Islamic world. They're sometimes even required by law. The largest airport in Saudi Arabia has a mosque in the airport. The airports in both Istanbul and Dubai have more than a dozen prayer rooms each. It might seem surprising that airports, of all places, would have dedicated prayer rooms, especially as participation in organized religion is declining in much of the Western world. But there are good reasons for airports to have these spaces. First, as we mentioned, are the employees. Air travel is a 365-day-a-year industry. Even if there aren't flights around the clock, people work in airports 24 hours a day. That means many in the industry have to work on holy days and on holidays. Those who travel, like pilots and flight attendants, can find themselves stranded away from home on days that they'd normally attend religious services. The first airport chapel was for employees, and many airport employees still use them. Second, travelers. Observant travelers often have no choice but to be in the airport during prayer times. Airport chapels provide a safe and quiet place for travelers to fulfill religious obligations. Many airport chapels are interfaith, allowing observers of any religion to use the space. Most air travel is for business or leisure, like vacations. But some of the people you see in the terminal are there for other, more serious reasons, like funerals, family emergencies, and hospital visits. A chapel offers a place for travelers to process difficult emotions privately. Finally, You don't have to be religious to use an interfaith chapel. There's nobody at the door checking your membership card. Chapels offer space to meditate and find a moment of peace and comfort. Some people find that a moment of quiet reflection helps them feel grounded during an otherwise anxious time. This time can be especially comforting for those who are afraid of flying. Where there are airport chapels, there are sometimes airport chaplains. An airport chaplain may be from any religious faith. The chaplain provides comfort to passengers who need it, whether because of grief, anxiety, illness, or traumatic events. And chaplains can provide emotional assistance to passengers who are making difficult, life-altering journeys. Many people get on an airplane for the first time when they immigrate to another country, report for duty in the military, or travel for a serious medical procedure. Imagine taking a plane for the first time and also having to think about major life changes and deal with an immigration bureaucracy. Chaplains can provide important emotional help to people going through these changes. Airport chaplains also help in times of crisis. When someone dies on a flight, the airport chaplain is often the first person to make contact with the family. And if the worst happens, the chaplains can provide comfort to survivors. A helicopter recently collided with an airplane near an airport in Washington, D.C. 67 people died. The chaplain organized a space that was safe, quiet, and away from the news media, where family members and friends could grieve and wait for information. Chaplains also provided comfort and counseling to the first responders. In some cases, airport chaplains may be called in to help de-escalate emotional situations as an alternative to getting police involved. For some people, an airport might be the least romantic place in the world, but some couples met in an airport, or maybe they got engaged in an airport. So where better to get married than in the airport chapel? Yes, it's true. Some couples do get married in the airport chapel. Not my idea of the best place to get married. I mean, would all the wedding guests have to buy cheap flights just to get through security and access the ceremony? I don't know. All right, that's all for us. This was the third episode in our monthly theme of religion. We talked about the selection process of the new Pope in episode 772 and the Dalai Lama in number 774. And this was episode number 778. So if you liked this one, you can go on the website, do the activities, the listening challenge, pronunciation practice, quiz, discussion, and more. And hey, if you've ever been to the airport chapel, I want to hear about it. Go to the Talk About It discussion section at plainenglish.com/778 and let me know how it was. We'll be back on Thursday with a new story. See you then. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you like listening to stories in plain English, then you'll love learning English expressions with us. We have a brand new podcast called Essential English Expressions, and this one is seasonal. So we'll drop an entire season of expressions all at once. The first season is already available, ready for you to start listening. That's 14 special Plain English episodes all together in a brand new podcast. Just search Essential English Expressions in your podcast player or click the link in the show notes.